Congratulations. It's good to see that car getting back there on the track. One question, though, has to do with cost and when you get your payback. How much extra is that going to cost Aston Martin a year, say, in marketing? And when do you get that payback in terms of new sports car sales?
It's very marginal what it cost Aston Martin in marketing. Before I took over as executive chairman, Aston Martin had a sponsorship arrangement with a previous Formula One team. And for less than they were paying the previous Formula One team on a per annum basis, because I am executive chairman and because I am the majority shareholder, as you pointed out, I did a very special arrangement in order to get Aston Martin returned to the Formula One grid. I also own the Formula One team privately, so there's no additional cost or expenditure, just a very, very big benefit to the shareholders and investors in Aston Martin Lagonda.
Lawrence, it's Guy in London. Why go back into F1? F1, internal combustion engines, noise, sound, like the fans love it. But that's not the direction of travel for this industry, is it? The direction of travel is electric. This feels like a step backwards rather than a step forwards.
No, I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong for two reasons. First of all, Formula One has a fan base of 2.3 billion people watching every year. There's about 100 people that watch every Formula One race. And as we are rebuilding the British iconic luxury premium brand, there is no better marketplace with all our high-performance vehicles and all our technology than the pinnacle of motorsport, which is Formula One. And still has all the audience. 80% of the audience that watch Formula One are performance car buyers, which is exactly who our target audience is. As far as electrification is concerned and carbon-neutral footprints, Formula One, sadly it's a well-kept secret, has the lowest emission carbon combustion engine on the planet today, combined with a big electrification component to it. Going forward, with all the OEMs involved and all the team owners and the FIA and the FOM, everyone's very aware of the travel of the world, and we're taking Formula One in that direction. You'll see more electrification going forward and the new power units from all the OEM manufacturers getting involved and behind it. So I don't think it could be more relevant. We're taking it in the appropriate direction, and the world is there watching it, proving that they're very interested in sport. And it's the appropriate thing for Aston Martin to do in our high-performance luxury segment we're in.
At the same time, most CEOs, particularly in Europe, are coming out and saying zero net emissions, full EVs by 2030, for example. We're putting that question to all the car makers that we talked to, and we spoke to the Volvo CEO, Håkan Samuelsson, yesterday. Here's what he had to say about his shift to EVs.
We are a small player in the premium segment, and of course, electrification will be slower in some countries, but by 2030, we are still believing that there will be a premium electric share of that market where we will be positioned in. So I don't think we need to exit any markets, but we will focus on the electric customer that will be available.
Lawrence, do you have to move a bit faster?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Do you have to move faster to electric vehicles?
No, we have a roadmap that we are introducing electrification to start with to our vehicles in the next 18 months. We have a full EV plan that will be in place by 2025 with two of our products. One will be a sports car and one will be an SUV. So by 2025, we have full EV and electrification on the way to get there. I think what's also very different for Aston Martin, we don't make hundreds of thousands or millions of cars. We're looking to make 10 to 15,000 cars that deal with car enthusiasts. Those car enthusiasts want electric vehicles, they want electrification, but what they also want is the aspiration and halo and trickle-down effect of a premium luxury brand that Aston Martin delivers. Again, one of the reasons returning to Formula One, marketing, performance, aspirational. So I believe that part of electrification going forward, which we will have, and I think we're going to be ahead of our competition in that respect based on the dates I just told you, is also about the brand. Aston Martin represents a 108-year-old iconic, bespoke British luxury brand. And anybody can go out and buy an electric platform from various manufacturers over the next 5 or 10 years. But for me, what's going to be the differentiating effect is going to be the aspiration of the brand. The interior, the exterior, the way the car looks, the way you could bespoke the leather, our suspension, our vehicle driving dynamics that make our car special. You know, Volvo mentioned that they're not in the premium luxury market. We are in the premium luxury market. We control part of the premium luxury market.
In terms of the investment that you are going to have to make in this business, do you think you're going to have to put more money to work, Lawrence? It was interesting, the Chancellor of the Exchequer today announcing a huge tax break for those that are prepared to make capital equipment investments. Do you see yourself taking advantage of that? And do you worry that in a few years' time, corporation tax is going to be significantly higher, and that's going to add an added burden to what you're trying to do at Aston?
First part of your question, we've raised 800 million of equity, 800 million pounds, that is, of equity over the last 7 months. That is not a number picked out of the air. That is a number with a cushion in order to see our business plan through. Our business plan is to get to 2 billion pounds of volume, 10,000 units, and 500 million of EBITDA within the next 4 years. I can tell you right now, we are ahead of that plan. We got through our destocking, which was an issue 6 months earlier. We got through all the inventory that was out there. Our order book for our sports cars are sold out until the end of September of this year. Our DBX, which had very high expectations, are well ahead of our plans and expectations. So from a cash point of view, we raised the right amount of equity and cash to put into the business in order to see that business plan through. And I have all the confidence in the world that we have a cushion and are in a very good place. You know, it was from April till December that was the challenging times for this business. Now that we saw our way through that with the sales of the DBX, with the order book for sports cars, thankfully that's behind us, and we have a very clear and exciting roadmap with all our new products we'll be introducing ahead of us.
Lawrence, just one final quick question. I want to come back to the Formula One investment that you're making. How different do you think Formula One is going to be post-pandemic? This is a traveling circus. The logistics involved are absolutely bewildering. You're basically moving hundreds of people around the world. You've got a situation, though, now where restrictions are going to be in place. Governments are going to be much more wary. Fans are going to be much more wary. How different do you think this sport will be?
Well, amazingly, last year, which was already extremely challenging, as we know, with this pandemic, that we scheduled 21 races. We were able to complete a revised schedule of 17 races, and we delivered every one. We showed up at all 17 events. We stay in our Formula One bubble. Thankfully, there were very few viruses caught within the formula, and I mean, it was a handful, which is amazing after going to 17 countries. So we already shown last year a system that clearly works, which is what we're implementing this year. We'll be in Bahrain in 4 weeks from today for our first race. The first races will start without fans, with the hope that by summer we could bring fans back into the grandstands. So again, based on last year's incredible success of how we were able to carry it out, I'm looking forward for the same this year.